We turn now to Louisiana, where a black state trooper has been fired after speaking out about police brutality and racism within his department. This comes after Trooper Carl Cavalier gave several TV interviews criticizing the department for its handling of the death of Ronald Greene, a black man who died after he was beaten and dragged during an encounter with troopers. But police initially reported that Ronald died in a car crash. A spokesperson with Louisiana State Police says Cavalier is being let go because he violated department policy. Back with me to discuss this and other legal stories making headlines tonight is veteran prosecutor and BNC's legal contributor Paul Henderson. All right, Paul, the officers involved in the Ronald Greene killing faced less discipline and still have their jobs after presumably beating a man to death and alleged attempts to cover it up. Your thoughts?
Okay, I'm so glad you started with that and framing the context that the officers that actually committed the crime still have their jobs. And instead, we are now focusing on this officer that is essentially considered what I would call a whistleblower. Keep in mind that over 20 states have whistleblower protections, and there's generally two types. There's internal and external. This is an internal whistleblower that pointed out and released information about inappropriate behavior that I would say is illegal behavior. And there are enumerated protections for whistleblowers that include termination. And obviously that's what happened here. I believe that he will be vindicated later, but that's just going to be a civil settlement. The real issue is what he blew the whistle on and what behavior he reported, which I believe, again, is illegal. That's the real story here. I'm curious to see whether or not he will be compensated with a civil lawsuit that I presume is forthcoming, given that he was terminated inappropriately. And there may have been rules about releasing information, but those are typically superseded when people are revealing information that is illegal, as I believe this is the case in this situation. The real travesty is the behavior from that department. And what I'm curious about as we talk about this case is, what are the policy repercussions that are going to be a result of people understanding and knowing what that department did? That's the question, not the result of what the whistleblowing incident is going to result in.
Well, Cavalier, he did several news interviews and accused those involved of covering up the incident. In September, he even filed a discrimination suit against the department. Will his firing help his case?
It will help his case, because if in fact it is determined that he was a whistleblower, independent of him giving that interview and independent of his own actions, then he can be compensated for the enumerated protections that were violated by him being terminated. That actually helps his case, because that is a measurable repercussion. The real issue from the legal perspective, and again, this is in the civil track, this isn't a criminal evaluation, in the civil track, is whether or not he violated the rules that he was bound by his contract for employment working with the police department. That's kind of what the issue is, but it does help his case that he was fired, because that's a measurable repercussion that he can claim as a damage for his lawsuit.
All right, let's move on to Tennessee, Paul. ProPublica has released an investigation that found one Tennessee county profited off jailing black children who haven't committed crimes. They simply witnessed a fight between a 5- and 6-year-old. Again, these are children. They didn't jump in or participate in any way, but 11 black school children were detained for, get this, criminal responsibility for the conduct of another. This was allegedly one of the many laws that don't exist in Tennessee, but was made up by Judge Donna Scott Davenport. The investigation found that in 2011, the 11 children that were arrested, the families have then received a settlement in 2017, but the people responsible, Paul, for their arrests and detentions, they still have jobs. Your thoughts?
All right, so I'm disappointed again all the way around the board. I'm disappointed with law enforcement for even coming and arresting children for this type of behavior that I don't think merits a detention. I don't think merits custody, but the fact that it happened is where we are. It's again shining the light on the fact that this is likely a department that has not updated any reforms related to their policies involving children. And unfortunately, because of that, we get results like this that I guarantee when you go back and you look at those policies are race disparate. That's the unfortunate thing, at least with the police department. That fault and that bad behavior was exacerbated in our criminal justice system by having them appear for prosecution in front of a judge and having the judge take the action that they did in holding these children accountable in the way that they were. It's a travesty that it happened, and I'd like to see a repercussion across the board. And I know we were talking about this earlier today. These repercussions have to move beyond these civil tracks and the lawsuit. I'm glad that that's taking place, but until we get to a place where these civil settlements, these big checks that we keep seeing that are written for race disparate outcomes, bad behavior, has to be tied to policy revisions so that it doesn't happen again. It has to be connected so that this same thing can't continue to happen. And I will just tell you, because I know and am familiar with what this process looks like, there should be policies that are unique and specialized for children specifically in every department that define when and how departments engage and confront and interact with children, those that are under the age of 18, and it should be different from adults.
All right, before I let you go, Paul, let's talk Bill Cosby. According to court documents, actress Lily Bernard, who met Cosby on the set of The Cosby Show, is suing him, alleging he drugged and raped her. His spokesperson called this, quote, another attempt to abuse the legal process by opening up the floodgates for people who never represented an ounce of evidence, proof, truth, and or facts. Cosby was then, released, we know, from prison in June after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court tossed out his conviction. What do you make of all this?
First of all, is it abuse? Is it really? Because we had over 50 victims testifying against Bill Cosby about consistent behavior that seemed pretty credible to me. And now that there's another one, first of all, I'm not surprised. I covered that case as you did as well and are very familiar with the facts and circumstances in this case. And you know what? I did not clutch my pearls. I was not surprised to hear that another woman has come out and said that she was sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby in the past. And really, I believe that this person should be moving forward and offer everything that she can using the courts to protect herself and using the courts to collect damages for the behavior that was inappropriate involving Bill Cosby. If he's got another lawsuit, so be it. I want him to be held accountable for whatever behavior he's engaged in that's harmed another person. And that's what this is. I'm supportive of victims. I'm supportive of witnesses. I'm supportive of people that are standing up for themselves to redefine public safety for themselves against the people that have abused them, that have taken advantage of them, that have inappropriately exercised their power and authority over them in ways that I don't agree with. And so I applaud you, victims, for using your voice. I applaud you for standing up to someone who has some notoriety and fame to make sure that you get what is deserving from this case. And hopefully there will be some civil liability. Hopefully there could be criminal liability if that's where the evidence leads. But I support it. I'm happy to hear her voice. And I hope that it opens the door for other people to do the same thing that have been abused as well in the future.
All right, veteran prosecutor and legal contributor Paul Henderson. See you next week for our trial coverage, my friend.